Hello, everyone. Happy April. It is April 2nd, and I am Laurie Baracco, and I am live this morning. I'm live in my Facebook group, I believe on my Facebook page, and on YouTube. So, hello and good morning. I will give everyone a moment to receive the notification that I'm live. And when you do see the notification and you pop on in, say hello, and please let me know where you're watching from. Oh, and I just realized that I might need to go plug in this computer, so just give me a moment. So I'll give everybody still the moment or two to receive the notification and make sure we're all set here. Okay, need to make sure we have that juice, don't we? Hello and welcome, everybody. Happy spring, happy April, and wishing you all blessed new beginnings. Hello and good morning. All right, so I see a few people have joined. Hello, good morning. I'm going to start with setting the space with some smudge, setting the intentions, and clearing our energy, mind, body, spirit. And when I say ours, I mean mine too. Okay, so I've got my smudge going. I've got the flame going, nice giant flame here. Okay, let's all take a moment. Oh, wow, it's really smoking, isn't it now? All right, so let's all take a moment to set the space, whether you're watching live or afterwards, the intention is still there. Allowing the sacred smoke to cleanse our minds, our bodies, our spirits, setting the tone for this upcoming week, this upcoming month for ourselves, this upcoming day, right? And even the next hour, setting the intention of being present in the moment with all that's taking place, not allowing beautiful moments to pass us by, anchoring us in this time frame. Yes, there's a lot that's going on in the outside world, but we are the gatekeepers of what takes place on the inner realms for ourselves. All right, setting that intention, asking Spirit to align us, to help us to be in alignment with our divine purposes, with our birthrights of joy, happiness, excellent health, abundance, healthy relationships, and recognizing when an opportunity and a path opens up for us, to not let it pass us by so that it has to come back around another time. And I ask to be a channel of wisdom and love and hope and optimism and peace for all those who have tuned in today. And so it is. And so it is. All right. I see some comments here. See, good morning. And I see Lisa saying, for the love of God, please, spirits, send some good things for me. Lisa, you're not alone, right? You're not alone. So allow the sacred smoke to permeate all of your beingness, your mind, your body, your soul, your essence. Allow that sacred smoke to recalibrate you and bring in all the good things and help move out what's not supporting you in this moment, stress, anxiety, whatever it is. And I don't know if many of you do receive my newsletter, my Laurie Barrago newsletter. And I did share that March was a bit much. It was a bit much, right? So we have different times in our lives where things are rattled a little bit more than others. And so there is always the opportunity of having things shook up a little bit, right? Those tower moments where you can realign, readjust, and then see through your emotional reactions to see, yeah, I see the divine purpose. And usually we know in that moment, like, I see this is happening, that this was necessary. However, I'm human and things are going to pop up. So we all have had those moments in our lives, because if you are on this planet, you're going to have what the heck moments. Absolutely. And so it's navigating through those difficult times and then giving yourself a little bit of grace and compassion and then regrouping, which is kind of what I'm talking about today, which is the regrouping and resetting your energy. And even if it's setting forth little baby goals, little baby milestones, that's going to help you have something to look forward to, right? If we don't have something to look forward to, or to believe in that goodness exists and honesty and integrity and all that with ourselves and with others, and that spirit has a little surprise or two for you, that's a blessing, that then we become depressed, we become stressed, our immune system is compromised, just everything kind of is in the pooper, right? It all kind of goes down the drain. And I'm going to just read some of the messages here. And Lisa says, she's so stressed, she's going out of her mind these days. It's a tower each day. Yeah, those towers. The towers, there are different towers. I actually pulled some cards for myself this morning and saw there was the tower again. It's like, okay, I see you, but I'm on the other side, right? I think it's important to know too that there are cycles of towers within towers, right? Within different tower cycles that we do experience. And it's because what's happening right now is not in alignment for your highest and your most best good. That it happens. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Lisa says, all I share is positivity, love and kindness, but damn. Yeah, you think that, but what it maybe does when that happens is that maybe I'm showering or sending all of this good energy in that direction. And maybe I just need to shift course a little bit, right? To shift course a little bit and, see and then be more mindful of where my energy is increasing and decreasing and who's appreciating and who's not, right? So I think that for you it feels like, and I think this probably relates to other people too. So maybe it's to say, look, over here, maybe you need to pull back and contract a little bit over there and not spend so much time, or to try to be more neutral in certain situations and really see where your energy is increasing and where things are thriving, and try not to give too much energy or spend too much mind space on that situation, right? Try to shift course a little bit. And they just, and my friend Amy always says, double for your trouble. So know that where you're struggling, there are double the blessings that are just kind of waiting over there. And they're waiting over there for you to scoop them up, right? And soak in all the blessings. I do think too, this is what Spirit's saying, and it is true. It's true for me, at least, is that when blessings come our way, sometimes we're still focused on the thing that's not aligned. And I think that if we were to try not to spend the majority of our energy channeling it towards the things that aren't working, and acknowledge it for what it is. Okay, I see it for what it is, but you know what? This is flowing so beautifully over here. This is so beautiful over here. I want to continue to nurture those relationships and those situations where it's more effortless and I feel good. If this doesn't feel good over here, then I see it and maybe I'm not able to do much about it, and then shift it, right? I'm just going to read some more of the comments. And Doreen says, good morning, good morning. And Jen says, yep, got the tower reversed on my poll this morning too. All right, well, that's not too bad, right? Because if it's reversed, it says you just maybe missed a tower moment. And that's one of the meanings too with the tower. If it's reversed, is that maybe you just missed a tower moment, and because of something you said or did, and it shifted your experience, and or what you're seeing as a tower moment is not really a tower moment. That's a possibility too. Good morning, Patty. And Lisa says, give me the biggest shovel and I'll dig it all up. Not good times though. Yeah. Sending you lots of good energy, right? Don't forget to call in your holy helpers, your wisdom team. Don't forget to call in those energies. And when you're when you know you're scattered and you're fragmented, call back your power, call back your power, call back your essence, and then shake it off, right? And then also connect with the people that you know love you and that support you, right? that too can help us. Not that we're complaining and just venting all the time, but that's you're heard, and then you pick yourself up and you move on, right? I think that that's important to just say, okay, now I've got that off my chest. I just needed a witness to hear this about my experience, and then I'm going to move on from this. All right, so good morning, friends. I'm going to pop into my notes here. All right, so yes, for a lot of people, March has been a very bumpy month. I know we had a lot of planets doing this and a lot of that and so on and so forth. And my friend was saying, hopefully March goes out like a lamb. For me, she kind of did a little bit, but I don't know. It's been really interesting for so many people, right? So we get to see so many people come in and with private sessions and healing and shopping for things and sage. I don't think I've ever sold as much sage as and Palo Santo, the type of sage you burn in my spray, as much as I have these days. Oh my goodness, right? So I've sold like record numbers of sage because people are wanting to shift and clear their energy, right? So the beautiful thing, though, is when things are very chaotic, it's kind of like cards. Remember 52 card pickup, where there are all the pieces, all the cards, the full deck is there, but they're scattered all over. And so it's because there's a realignment that may need to take place, a readjustment, a coming back together and regrouping. You can kind of think of when you're in those tower moments and all of the chaos as 52 card pickup. It's like, okay, my energies are all over the place. I'm over here, I'm over there, that's happening. And then you get to kind of regroup and slowly pick up those cards. And oh yeah, and maybe you want to organize those cards. Maybe you want to organize them into the different sections, right? Into right, the suits, the colors, and then maybe you're gonna have your diamonds and your spades and your clubs and your hearts, and you maybe want to group those all up together. Meaning also, that's a reference for all the different areas in your life. Where do I want to, I'm going to organize my finances. I'm going to take care of my health. I'm going to look at my stress here. I'm going to go over here and maybe take a look at where my projects and what's not working. And so that's very similar to that in that way, right? And Patty says, so much drama lately. Oh my gosh. No shit. So much unnecessary drama, right? And then the people that say they're not creating drama are creating drama. And so it is what it is, right? So we say, I see it for what it is. I don't need to go into that. I'm going to remove myself from some of that. And again, realign, redirect, and plant seeds that I want to empower. Do I want to keep watering this poison ivy, right? Those are their seeds of poison ivy, right? Do I want to water and empower, nurture the poison ivy? Or do I want to maybe work with herbs, or maybe I want to work with those sunflowers or roses? I want these flowers rather than the poison ivy and the weeds that are going to take over the stuff. There are those other flowers that take over your yard. Are they the purple ones? I don't know what they're called. And then you have those, what are they called? The beggar weeds, the little ones with the little spikes and all that. And maybe they're the white ones that take over your yard. What am I going to empower? Am I going to pluck them out? And I'm going to redo my garden, right? That's what we're talking about today. Aw. Thank you, Lisa. Just sharing some more comments here. So that's where we get to regroup. This is what I love about regrouping. And in a way, it's a sense of relief. It's like, whew, okay, I forgot I can regroup. Sometimes in the middle of things, it's like, oh yeah, this is a lot. And then I know the ego gets involved, right? The challenging part of the ego that says, this is how it's going to be forever. You are screwed. You are stuck, right? We all have that voice that comes and says, that's it. This is how it's going to look. You might as well just forget about trying to change it. But that's not the truth. That is the part of us that's the part of us that has the wounding, that needs healing, that needs to be reassured. So then there will be some influences, right? there might be a friend, there might be a dream, there might be a song on the radio, there might be like your special number sequence that drops in to say, hold on, get a hold of yourself. This is not how it's going to be forever. We're going to shift things, right? So that's where the regrouping comes in. So for myself, when it comes to regrouping, I usually wait for certain like milestones, right? So whether it's the beginning of the month, and yes, the first of the month was yesterday, but I'm really going to be, I know I'm going to be working with today, like for today, the second, because I have some time to be able to spend time and really thinking about things. We did also have the spring equinox, and we also had the new moon, so that's also another time to set some seeds, right? So when plant some seeds and set some intentions into motion. So from last cycle of the spring, right, the first day of spring, we've got the new astrological wheel and the new moon. There were some intentions there, and then some things happen, right? And it's like, okay, let me regroup again. I see what's working for me, what's not working, and maybe I want to recalibrate and renegotiate some of the stuff here. So for the regrouping, you can really start at any time you want. I mean, you don't have to start on a new moon or the first day of the week or the month. You don't have to do that. But sometimes that is just the right time to do that because we're reminded, oh yeah, there's a new moon. Oh yeah, I think this is a good time to restart some things and to really reevaluate. So you could start at the beginning of the month, the week, moon cycle, whatever, wherever you're drawn, right? Like the spring equinox and so on and so forth. We know that we are energy and that the thoughts that we empower will be fuel, and it will align energetically with what we're giving energy to, right? So that's where I had touched upon that before about the weeds. Which weeds are you nurturing? Which ones are getting all your attention? Are you, or are you plucking them out and dissolving it and doing what you can to contain it? Sometimes you just got to contain it, right? Maybe you can't kill it off, but you can contain it, make sure it doesn't carry over and be really toxic and cause chaos in other areas of your life. Just gonna check on some of your comments quick. Patty says, poison ivy, perfect analogy. Yeah, it just came in. I didn't have that before, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm so glad that like we can relate to that because it makes sense. That is the same thing with the toxicity and the chaos and the drama and the weeds in our life that we know they're necessary. I mean, they are necessary for things, but sometimes they can get out of control. And that's when we have those tower moments. It's like, oh yeah, there's a tower. There's that poison ivy weed. There's that other weed that takes over the yard that has those prickly things that get you, and so on and so forth. So, hey, we can regroup. That's what the Spirit's saying. Let's focus on that, though. We regroup. Yes, Angela says, sitting in weeds doesn't grow flowers. No, you don't grow flowers in the weeds when you're in the thick of the weeds. You think of that, right? Those have been in the service industry. I'm in the weeds, right? The weeds is like all of this other stuff. So then you chop them away. You call a friend like, hey, help me get out of the weeds, and so on and so forth. And sometimes it's a person friend. Sometimes it's a coworker. Sometimes it's spirit, right? So call a friend. Yeah. And good morning, Adriana. So let's see what else I've got here. Okay. Right. So those are the thoughts, the energy that we empower. And don't forget that we're human. We are human. Most of us are human who are watching here. And we have emotions that will come up and we will be triggered. It just is part of being human, right? So I do want you to give yourself a little bit of grace and a pass, but don't stay in that energy for too long. However, we can still adjust ourselves and set our intentions into motion consciously. And sometimes we do get caught up. This is something else that came in before when I was getting ready for today. Sometimes we get caught up in the moment of the timing and we're waiting for the right time or when this happens. And honestly, sometimes that burst of courage comes through and it's like, I'm doing it now. And you're just stepping in there and making that change. And that's what was necessary. A lot of times we do become the obstacle by waiting for the right timing and for everything to align, right? And sometimes the alignment is right now because I just had a burst of crazy confidence and I'm ready to just tackle this right now. So I do have some suggestions. I'm going to pop in here. Hello, my friends. So someone says, and I see you as Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user friend. And they say, I'm not familiar with the tower reference. Can you briefly explain? Yes. So let me see, because I did mention that I did pull the tower this morning. Let's see if it's right here in the front. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this is my gummy bear tarot deck that I'm working with for this month. This is the tower card. So the tower card, as you could see, it's like, oh my gosh, this is chaos. This is chaos. And you could see things are falling apart. It's like everything is just kind of dissolving. Another reference would be like the building a house of cards. A house of cards doesn't have a sturdy foundation. So with the tower, it means like there are cracks in the foundation, that things are falling apart because you don't have a good foundation, because things aren't set into place. And in some instances, there's illusion. There is the illusion of, oh, look, it looks good from the outside, but on the inside, you've got a fire, you've got lightning striking, you have people crumbling and falling. If you look at that foundation, look, it's not solid. It's not sturdy. And then you've got smoke. It's like chaos, like an explosion of things. And we have those moments in our lives where, yeah, we're having a tower moment over here. Like there's a tower moment, maybe, someone stole your credit card number, right? Your identity, right? So then you've got to figure out all that. And why did that happen, right? Maybe I need to think about having a backup of where I have my savings or whatever, or not go pay with the credit card at the gas station or something, right? Or maybe I gave my card to someone I was trusting, right? That's a tower moment over there. And then maybe over here, you have another tower moment because you've been ignoring the signs of your body and your stress levels, and your body starting to break down, and there's a lot going on there. And so that's a tower moment over there. And then maybe your partner, your significant other saying, I've got issues and I want to talk to you and you don't have time to talk to them or something. And that's another tower moment. Or, this happens to a lot of people too, is that the signs of infidelity are there and then you're ignoring it. And then boof, you've got a tower moment because it's right in front of you, but you didn't want to pay attention to it, right? So the beautiful thing about the tower card is it shows us what may be hidden underneath the surface, what's lurking underneath the surface, and or what we know. Usually, you usually know when you're in the tower moment or the tower moment is about to happen. So it's like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Yep, I was hoping to postpone it, or I was waiting for the right timing for that. So I don't know if that makes sense about the tower moment. And I'll just wait a moment. All right, so then I'm going to move on to some of the suggestions that I have with setting your intention and the new cycle and what's coming in. Oh, it's Ancy. Hi, Ann. Ann says, thanks so much for that answer. Facebook is hiding me. I think when you sign on, there's like it pops up, I think. It says, is it okay for StreamYard to use your identity and show who you are? So I think that's what that is. Okay, moving on. So I have some suggestions. So this morning, one of the most beautiful things I love about the centers is that I can come in a little bit earlier. And I sometimes do forget about this, that it's a place of reflection and great vibration. And I get to come in sometimes before hours or after hours and set the space and put on some really great music, light my altar, get my journal out, have some incense going, and be with the space and be with myself. And that's the first suggestion that I have on here, is to set some time aside to be with yourself, to be with your thoughts, to regroup, to process, to allow some of the consciousness for you to digest what season you're in, where are you at right now, and allow the week to catch up and to be alone with your thoughts. A lot of times we don't sleep is because the mind is racing, because we don't give ourselves time during the day or on a regular basis to be alone with our thoughts, to collect ourselves and to regroup. So that's my first suggestion. Set some time aside to get clear with where you are and aren't. And I'm an advocate for journaling and just writing some things down and reflecting. And oftentimes I forget that's what came in. So I write it down. Because a lot of times you're in that altered space. Writing provides me the time to think about my life and process what has taken place. And sometimes, we're just so busy. And so by being in that quiet space, I provide a channel for it to come through without being distracted. Yeah. Another thing is to take responsibility for what's working and isn't. Yes, there are some random things that happen, but on some level, your soul needed that experience, and you did co-create everything with other people and the divine I am present. So taking responsibility of, okay, this is where I'm at right now. It helps you to be proactive. It takes you out of that victim space. And yeah, sometimes it's kind of shitty what happens. Excuse my language today, but that Aries energy is really coming in. But yeah, sometimes things happen and it's like, okay, well, I get to choose my reaction with what happened there, or the traffic, or the accident, or the fact that I kept forgetting things and I had to go back home and now I'm late, and so on and so forth. On some level, I do think it's helpful to take responsibility. Okay, I'm going to choose my reaction with the external stimuli that has taken place in my environment, and I'm going to regroup and not focus and water those weeds and not put miracle grow on those weeds and that poison ivy. Another suggestion is, again, as I mentioned, so with the new month, you could start this with the new month, and a lot of people do this, and you could do this with the new week, or maybe you even want to do this with the new moon. And this is a little magic thing, is to take some cinnamon and blow it through your front door. Has anyone ever heard of that one? That manifestation tip is taking some powdered cinnamon and standing in front of your door, and with your sacred breath, bring in the blessings of the new month for whatever blessings you would like to bring in. Cinnamon is spicy and it's got that fiery element. It brings in abundance and success and aligns us with all of that. You can even cook with cinnamon. There are herbs that you can use to help with magically with helping with your manifestations. I just reordered and we just got this back in. It's a book called Supermarket Magic. I'll make a note to try to put it in the online store for those who aren't in here in person. It's a great book. It has all of these intentions and the magical intentions, and you can cook and you could do sachets and so on and so forth, is that you could go to the supermarket and get all of the ingredients, which is fabulous. Because a lot of times there was an herb for a scrying mixture that I couldn't get, and I had to order it, and it came from France. So this is kind of fun. Anyway, so I know I just went on a little sidetrack, but a little bit sidetracked there, but you can blow some cinnamon through your front door at the beginning of the month, or like I said, new moon, but most people do it in the beginning of the month. And Adriana says, love working with cinnamon, using a cinnamon stick to stir your intentional tea. Exactly. Some people have cinnamon brooms, right, in their space. Belinda put a cinnamon broom in the little baby one in the reader room. So you can do different things and work with cinnamon. Okay. And as I said, you can bake with it too. Getting an accountability buddy. That helps a lot. It can help a lot. So whether it's a friend or your significant other, joining a mastermind, I'm in a mastermind right now, being with your like-minded tribe. These are people who hold have the same value system, the same work ethics, who are in a place of being proactive and who have that success mindset rather than that victim mindset. And having an accountability buddy can really help you with touching base. And in some of the masterminds, like they set you up with someone too. Actually, I forgot I'm in 2 masterminds. There's another one where you can sign up. They have different time frames where you can connect with someone and hold them account, and you support each other on your journey. The other thing I want to say about this is that I personally don't usually share too much about my deep intentions because the energy can get weird when you do. It gets scattered and you're sharing too much of your secret sauce and all that. And by sharing, there are some people that we're sharing with that they may create doubt. Like they may challenge us with that intention. And then you're thinking, oh, maybe it's not doable. Maybe they're not on that same wavelength of success, abundance, manifestation, consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then there are other things you can do, like you can work with things, right? You can set your intentions into motion with like candle magic, herb magic, crystals. I love working with moonstone. Moonstone is the stone of new beginnings. And so I've got some moonstone on today, new beginnings, optimism, brings a little bit of confidence. It helps connect us with our intuition. And so working with crystals, you can do that. The herb magic, as I mentioned, and different rituals. Maybe there's certain rituals or prayers that you say that help set things into motion. And there are candle colors, and then you have your oils that go with them, and then there are incenses, and so on and so forth. Also, when you set your intentions into motion, you align yourself with different soul experiences. We are shown where we are in alignment and where we are not in alignment. Maybe it's our mindset. Maybe it's the people that we're sharing our dreams with. Maybe it's that we're spending time, right? You merge with the energy of the people you spend, the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So choose them wisely. Choose them wisely, right? Doesn't mean we kick everybody to the curb, but you want to make sure that energetically you're in alignment with all those that you are around, and that you're connected with, like in your inner circle, I want to mention. And so when you set that intention into motion, I set it into the universe, and then the universe is going to show me things. The universe or the energy is going to show me things. And also sometimes it's going to it may even show me a closed door. And sometimes a no or not right now is a blessing. Don't forget that too. So when you set that intention into motion, you may be seeing a mirror or have that awareness of, oh, wow, that's what I'm projecting. And there's my obstacle is this thing that I keep saying every day, or how I'm judging myself or my patterns, and then giving my reaction with certain things. So setting your intention is going to align you and show you what may need tweaking in your life. And again, like I said, remember that sometimes a no or not right now is a blessing. I used the analogy a couple of weeks ago about running with scissors, that we're running with scissors and yeah, this is the thing I want. And then the universe is like, oh my gosh, you're running with scissors. Boom, here's your tower. Here's your tower. Stop it. Right? So that sometimes is a blessing. Another thing I would suggest to do is, and I suggest this a lot, but I really do know it helps, and that is to have cord cuttings on a regular basis. You could do this for yourself, or you could go to a trusted practitioner and cut those cords of energy. You can use selenite, like a little selenite blade, to go around your energy field to cut those cords of toxicity of what we're fueling. Maybe there's a giant poison ivy cord that you didn't realize that you are connected to. So by intentionally cutting those cords, you're setting a reset with your energy and the energy that you're connecting and aligning with. So as I mentioned, you could use selenite, you could call in Archangel Michael, you could use my cord cutting spray, or my candle. You could go out into nature and do like an energy disconnect and ask Mother Nature to help you with that, with Gaia, have her help you. You could go to a practitioner. You can work with sound therapy. There's so many different ways of cutting those cords. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else I have for you. Spending time out in nature. So this is a little bit of a piggyback on that too. Connecting with the elements, connecting with the natural elements of this planet is so powerful. It will feed you, it will support you. It does support you and it does feed you. Maybe you're one of those people that just feels so much better by going by the water. Maybe you love the mountains, or you love the fresh aroma of the trees and the plants and being in a forest. Nature is one of the going out and getting fresh air and connecting and realigning with the plants and the animal beings is so good for the soul. And it's a really good way to regroup. And I did want to kind of circle back a little bit with talking about the tools, the crystals and the herbs and all that. And you don't need them. They are not a requirement. They are not necessary. You don't have to do these things, but they do help, and they can help you with focus as you write something down, as you burn it, as you empower it, as you write your intention and place it under a tea light. It helps you with refocusing your energy. I'm going to check in on some of our questions or comments. And Adriana says, yes, grounding in Mother Nature and Father Sky helps me. Absolutely. This just the smells on that experience. And I know sometimes, for some people it's cold, or some people it's really hot or rainy. Just try to get some fresh air a little bit here and there. That is going to help to support you on your path. And so there are so many other ways that you can regroup and realign, but I did just want to talk about this today. And it as a reminder that you can start over. You can regroup. You can have those tower moments. You can have the difficult times, but you most certainly have the power within you to regroup, to think about what you want in your life and how you want your life to look, and ask to be in alignment with those goals, with those ideas, and you get to choose your reaction and where you empower the experiences in your life, right? And I really feel like I know I say this a lot, but I do mean it, is that we're going to have human moments, and nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. There is not the perfect reaction. There are reactions where we feel really great about, and there are ones we don't feel so great about, right? But it doesn't serve us to keep beating ourselves up over them. It helps to say, okay, I've learned from this. I'm wiser from this experience. So I'm going to open up the space for comments or questions. And yeah, let's see where people are at here. So I hope that this did help you, and as that reminder, I know that you know that you can start over, and you do start over, and that there are different seasons that we're in and cycles, and we do have the power, and we're in the driver's seat with our reactions moving forward. All right, let's see what we've got here. Whoops, there goes I guess I didn't need to charge it. Huh? My computer's doing okay. Just dropped my cord. I did want to grab this deck. I did grab this deck while I'm waiting for comments or questions. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, and in the meantime, I did, as I'm shuffling these cards and waiting for comments. Okay, so I did want to mention that this Wednesday night, the 5th, I believe it's the 5th. I can't remember if it's the 5th. It's Wednesday. It must be the 5th. Yep, it is the 5th. I'm doing the math in my head. Ray, Seti, and I will be live at 7 p.m. and we're going to talk about astrology and different things that are popping up. I probably am going to ask about the those planets, like the 5 planets that we've been able to see lately. Lisa says she'll take anything good. Ray, Seti, and I will be live. And then I'm going to post in the Astral group. There is a workshop that I'm trying to pull together with Diana Burney, and she wrote a couple of books on clearing energy. And so this workshop is going to be on Zoom. And I'll put the format up in there. And it's a 2-day workshop on Zoom, and it's learning about different techniques of clearing your energy, grounding your energy, bringing in the archangels. And she's a very well-known author. So I'll drop that in. I want to see if anybody's interested. I know I'm interested. If you were someone who's sensitive to energy, if you're a practitioner, if you're a real estate person, and everybody will benefit from this course. Okay, so I see. Oh, Adriana has a question about a part-time job in a gold and silver shop. What do I get for that? I kind of was also wondering if there were any questions about the material today. Any questions about the material for today? About resetting your energy and manifestation. Okay, I feel like I want to pull 2 cards though with the everyone with the super attractor deck. All right, the first card I picked is about true manifestations are powered by service and love. So true manifestations are powered by service and love. So I'm also going to say this also has to do with what efforts are you willing to put forth to create success in your life? What efforts are you willing to put out there, and how hard are you willing to work? And maybe you won't have to work hard. And maybe there's some sacrifice in some things, right? Maybe there's some sacrifice that maybe there with those seeds, it's hard work, right? Like getting that shovel and digging up the hard soil and preparing it for the new season. What do I need to do? And do you share random acts of kindness because your heart is wanting you to express that as well? And then the second card I selected was manifesting is the creative process. Oh, there's a question. Oh, no, it's not. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world, right? So aligning with the creative flow and recognizing and paying attention, like, okay, there's resistance over here. And maybe my manifestation process is not exactly the same as the universe's idea of the path of less resistance. Maybe I'm the resistance, right? So paying attention and being aware of where it's flowing and where it's not. And by the way, Adriana, I think it's a great opportunity to meet people and to create you're in a place of regrouping and creating some financial stability for yourself at this time. And I think it's a really great opportunity for you, right? I'm hearing go, go, go. She's got the green light for as long as is needed. And Rosie was asking if anything for me. You came on the tail end, and yes, when the stream is over, take a look and see if anything resonates. Is about manifestation and aligning and resetting yourself after maybe some challenging experiences like the tower moments. All right, so I'm going to pull 3 cards from my Gummy Bear Tarot. This is the deck I'm using for the month of April. It is so cute. I love these cards. So I'm going to pull 3. I'm going to pull 3 from the top. So card 1, card number 2, and then card number 3. We've got 3 cards. Which card is calling out to you at this time? 1, 2, or 3? Let's see. All right. If you chose card number 1, this is the King of, can you see him? The King of Cups. This is about really feeling good about things and in a healthy way. There's a level of emotional maturity that you have stepped into through your experiences of awareness. And it's like the seasoned soul with your reactions and really making healthy relationships with yourself and others a high priority at this time. Okay. And so if you chose card number 3, this is the 3 of Pentacles. I feel like this question, this has a question for you. the extra efforts that I'm putting forth, are they because I want to, or I'm hoping I get a pat on the back? The extra efforts that I'm putting forth with all that I do, am I doing this because I feel it's the right thing to do, I'm excited about it, or am I doing this because I'm doing it so that someone will love me more or appreciate me more? Why am I doing this? What are my motivations? All right. And then the third card is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Am I the problem? Am I in the way of the flow that's trying to take form in my life? Am I overthinking things? Is fear holding me back from taking that chance? Am I overlooking the blessings that are trying to make their way in or not? Am I resisting the natural flow, or am I going with it? Or do I need to say no way and get off that crazy wheel? I feel like there are a couple of messages with that last card, the Wheel of Fortune, and this is for everyone. Is this free flowing, unstructured system or scenario creating fear, anxiety, or chaos in my life? Or do I need to go with the flow? Or is my need for structure holding me back? Or is there no potential for structure in that situation? Interesting flavor. And I feel like that is for everyone. That is something that I feel like is a universal question message from spirit for all of us. All right. So, my friend, so I'm going to be wrapping it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get the ball rolling and plant those seeds for ourselves for the month of April to set things going for ourselves. All right. Okay, and Rosie says, all those cards resonated with me. I need a lot of work. Hey, we all do, and I don't, and just give yourself some grace. Just take your time, okay? And you're so welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I hope to see you Wednesday night with Ray Seti, 7 p.m. Eastern. I believe I'll be in the private. I switched it up a little bit. I will be live on Facebook, on my Laurie Barack, no, on the Mystical Moon Facebook page, the Fort Myers page, and the Bonita Springs page, and in my Laurie Baracco's Astro Lounge. All right there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great week, and get some fresh air. Bye-bye.